Good morning. It is Monday morning. It is 11 o'clock. Well, it's 11:03, which is close enough in my book. Um, we are here live, and I'm sitting in my kitchen, and I've gotten because I'm still working on my ancient computer, although last week I picked up my new computer, and one of the things I'm working on today is switching all of my stuff over. So by next week, I should be on my brand new speedy MacBook. So I'm super excited for that. Thank you to Katie for for gifting me one that she just was not using anymore. It's perfect. I'm so excited. It is beautiful. It is like 50. It's only in the upper 40s, but it's getting up into 50 today, 50s. It feels warm. The sun is shining. There's a hint of spring in the air, and it feels just good. It feels like hope and possibilities. One of the things I love the most about spring is that sort of renewal, right? It's new life and new beginnings and new chances for growth and opportunity and rebirth. It's one of my favorite, spring is one of my favorite seasons. The only thing I like better than spring is fall. For the same reason, sort of the opposite, when everything is like, you know, winding down and reminding us to take time and really truly live in the moment of fall, right? Because everything's going to come back around, but like the letting go is so breathtaking. And then the spring, it's going to come right back around. So as you reap, so you sow. It's shall you sow. And so I just love the spring. I love the hope. I love the renewal. I love the excitement and the potential. And frankly, if you're not feeling excitement and potential, it may be I mean, that's sometimes a trauma response, right? Sometimes if we don't allow ourselves to feel a hope, if we don't allow ourselves, sometimes we don't allow ourselves to feel anything. Um, and that can sometimes be because we're so afraid of getting hurt that we don't want to get our hopes up, or we don't want to go too far down the path. And it's always because we have chosen a defense instead of living surrendered, right? Living surrendered means you get your heart broken a couple times a day. And it then gets to be okay because you know that you can come back, come back from it. We spent the weekend teaching at the Reese Thomas Institute, and oh my God, was it breathtaking. It was breathtakingly beautiful to show up, to watch these students show up, and by the end of Sunday, they were radiantly glowing. Just amazing. I mean, they all sort of came in opened and ready, I think. And we do it this check-in in the at the beginning, and we asked them to sort of tell us their what had gone right, whatever, and we got this sort of highlight reel, right? We got the best parts of things. We didn't necessarily get the stickiness that they struggled with. But by the end of Sunday, when we did the checkout, and we talked about what their takeaways were, we actually got the real radiance, the real rawness, and it was just like I don't even think there's another better job on the planet than helping people grow and become and claim. This weekend was third chakra, so it's all about your power. It's all about your essence, your sense of amazing, and that's enough. That's enough as is. So I mean, of course, this was like a fantastic weekend for me specifically because this is what I do, right? It's teaching everybody that who we are is enough as is, and there's no challenge, right? That like you were born here in this moment to be enough as is. And it was just watching them reclaim that. We did some really cool meditations, and we did this really neat exercise where we had them actually step into their power on Saturday, and I will for the rest of my life never forget the looks on 30 people who were just exquisitely pa- present and fully claiming their own power. It was beautiful. Um, if you're joining us, say hi. Let me know how you are. Good morning. If you are watching a replay, let me know that too. Good morning. How are you? Um, I titled today, "What if love really is all you need?" And I was thinking about that because I was thinking today that I loved watching the people do the work, and I loved watching how they connected with each other, and I love watching how much love they have for each other, and their love for each other is what keeps them going, and what keeps them diving in and doing the work, and they have this as like amazing group of people that just see them and love them and challenge them to be their best selves. And as a teaching staff, that's what we model, that we hold it. And so we spent our weekend doing the same thing and just holding space for each other and doing the work and holding space for the students, and it's just breathtakingly beautiful work. So what if love is all we need, right? What if you could approach everything and every situation as consciousness, as a being, as something that is here to be loved? I mean, the good stuff, the bad stuff, the challenging stuff, the stuff that makes you cringe. What if you could approach it all from this place of I love you? Which is the first phrase of the Ho'oponopono, which I'm doing a class next Wednesday. So if you haven't checked out Ho'oponopono, or you're curious about Ho'oponopono, please come to this class. There's time, it's gonna be open conversation, com, discussion, but it's mostly talking points and practicing and playing. But the first principle of Ho'oponopono is I love you, which really is all there is, right? I love you is enough. And if you could really feel that in your heart, for the people that you love, of course, but for the people that challenge you a little, imagine what we could create if everybody approached the situation as I love you. I'm sorry for whatever it is in me that brought this out in you. Please forgive me for that. And thank you for showing up as a major teacher in my life. I told you last week or a couple weeks ago that I had this sort of thing with my boss, and it was, I had been triggered by a student, and the student was triggered by me, and it ended up being a little, it was a big thing, big little thing. But that student, I said Ho'oponopono to the whole situation, and I actually got to come to this like really amazing understanding place around it, and I really got to do some deep work, and I cleared out some stuff that for me has been sort of a long-term journey. So it was really powerful. It was really a learning experience for me. And then that same student came back to us on, it started on Thursday, and then over the weekend, that student had to work through some of her stuff. It was so powerful for her that student was the most open and present I had ever seen her. Right? There was no fight left in her. Not that there was no fight left in her, but she was so softened and so open, and she was able to ask for what she needed, and she got it. It was incredibly inspiring, and I was so grateful. I was so grateful for the opportunity both to work through it as my own thing, and then to be a part of her working through some stuff that really really allowed her to come to this incredible place of surrender, right? And so by the end of the weekend, we were talking about, nothing's ever happened to you. You're not a victim, and her thing was, I'm still breathing, which means I'm still here, which means I'm not a victim. It was so incredible. It was so incredible to see this happen from this woman. And she sent me an email afterwards, and she said, thank you for helping me work through this, because I got to a place that I couldn't get to. And I was like, thank you for being so willing to do that work. It was incredible. And I one of the things I allowed myself to do, or some people helped me do, was to get to that place of seeing her as someone, as just a child energy. Just love it. I said Ho'oponopono. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. Now, I didn't say it to her. I said it to the energy. I said it to her spirit. I said it to the situation between us. I said it to my boss. It was so powerful. It was such a powerful real point, and I love you. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for this. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. And I let it go and I surrendered to it, and I, like I said, I got to my place with it and she got to her place with it, and we got to have this really, really beautiful, beautiful moment together. And this is now someone who is going to go out in the world as surrendered and open and no longer with victim energy. She gets to go into the world victorious, which means she's now giving permission for everybody else in the world to be amazing. And that's really, I know it, and I say it all the time, but that's really, really, really how we heal. That's what's gonna help us. I don't want to say fix what's broken because nothing's broken, but it'll allow us to heal the places of wounding in our society, in our country, in our world, right? It's not that things are broken, but there's some wounding. There's some deep, deep, deep shadow that needs to be addressed. We need to heal some things. The United States is currently experiencing the first Pluto return that it's experienced since its inception. And Pluto returns to the same sign every 248 years or so. So we're back to the same place that Pluto was when the Declaration of Independence was signed, and we decided we're no longer going to be part of England. There's some pretty huge ramifications to this. This is a time for us to do some reckoning as a country, as a people, as a nation. And you can see it. There's lots of stuff out there right now that people are really, really feel very, very strongly about, and there's a dividend. There's a division. There's a it's a real what do I want to say? Divided. There's a lot of us and them. There's a lot of they. There's a lot of finger pointing. There's a lot of fear and rejection and that lack mentality, the phobia of the other. There's also a lot of really strongly held convictions of, like, they're doing this to us. And the reality is nobody's doing anything to you. Maybe it's being done for you. But we have some significant things that we need to recognize and rectify and reckon with. Our history as a nation has been pretty much defined by deep seated racism and xenophobia and exclusionary practices and principles and laws, right? It's our we have an onus now to heal that, and it's up expressly so that we can heal it, expressly so that we can come together. And to be honest with you, I'm not sure what the history of our what the future of our country looks like. I don't even know what the future of the world looks like, to be honest with you. But I do think we as a human, as people as a human race, as people on the planet, as people with consciousness, we have an obligation. We have a moral obligation to sort of do some internal work. Where are the places that we hold beliefs of superiority or inferiority or privilege, right? I really feel strongly that every single one of us is being asked right now to really explore what where we hold our own racist, xenophobic, exclusionary beliefs, and we all have them. I don't necessarily care who you are, or what you do, or how awoke, enlightened we are. I feel like we all have some sort of biases. There maybe some are natural, maybe some are fostered, maybe some are more deeply entrenched, and some are a lot of them are probably unconscious bias. But I think it's part of our journey right now to explore that within ourselves and do what we can to like with any shadow, with any place that's unconscious, with any place that we've put aside and judged as bad or wrong or different. With any shadow work, it can't live in the darkness. When you shine a light on it, it can't survive. It's like remember in the 80s there was the Gremlin movie, right? And the Gremlins, if you expose them to sunlight, they exploded. Shadow is the same. So if you expose them to the light, we can heal them. But we can't heal them. We can't expose them to the light if we're afraid of it. If we're not willing to look, if we're not willing to explore like who we are and what we think and how we do what we do and why we do, if we're not willing to explore our motivations, if we keep putting our head in the sand, I, I think that's what's part of the problem is, for 200 and some odd years, we've put our head in the sands. It doesn't affect me, right? Anti-Semitic crimes are on the rise. We have an obligation to explore what it is in us that's allowing this to still happen. The whole point, like I said, the whole point of Ho'oponopono is is to make correct, is a correction. That's what the word translates to. And if it's in our field, and it is, because we're all part of the same world. We're all started part of, if it's in your field, if it's in your awareness, it's yours to heal. So racism and anti-Semitism and xenophobia and all these things that like misogyny and toxic masculinity and all of it is ours to heal. So let's explore. Let's have those deep, intense conversations. Let's have them with ourselves. Let's have them within ourselves, and then let's have them as a people. Let's have them as consciousness workers. What can we do? We actually can do a great deal, but we have to first acknowledge that the problem exists. Like it's 2022 and we're talking about banning books. And we're talking like there's shit that I'm just like, how is this still a conversation? So great. I am going to go back to my own work and my own practices and be like, okay, those people who are banning books or d- taking away a woman's right to choose what she does with her life and her healthcare. And even I'm probably gonna piss off a lot of people, but like I mean, it's a choice what you do with your healthcare. But we also have an obligation to protect there's a collective. We have an obligation not just to ourselves, but to those around us. So again, where are the places in you that we need to shine a light on so that we can, as a collective, as a humanity, come together and find the things that connect us. Because it really is the only way we're going to heal. And it starts with, I love you. I love you. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to the nation. I'm sorry to anybody who feels like another. And like I'm a lesbian. I'm a woman lesbian, pagan, in a world that basically says, "Yeah, no, you're not okay either." But I have the privilege of being a white pagan lesbian, so I don't have that extra otherness. and I don't, so but but so where in me are my racist, xenophobic, anti-Semitic beliefs? And I think I don't, I truly don't think I have any, but I'm going to continue to have the dialogue. I'm going to continue to explore and to excavate expressly so that I can heal it because it's in my world. It's in my energy field. It's mine to heal. Just like it's yours to heal. It's in your energy field. It's yours to heal. I love you. I love all of you. I'm sorry for anything that's in me that's calling this out in you. Please forgive me for that. Thank you. Thank you for showing up. Let's do the work together. Let's create society. Let's create tribe. Let's create consciousness together. What if love is really all we need? It, come to my March 2nd class. There's a whole bunch of spots still open. We're going to dive into this. We're going to dive into these kinds of things as part of the Ho'oponopono class on March 2nd. I'll post the link in the comments. If you've joined us, thank you for watching. If you are watching a replay, let me know. Um, I'm going to have an in-person day. I'm going to have an in-person day April 30th, I think. I'm still finalizing the details, so I'll let you know about that. But April 30th, I'm having an in-person day. And then starting next week is my birthday season. And so all through the whole month of March, I'm going to be having giveaways and raffles and I'm watch that rollout is coming towards the end of this week because we're coming into the end of February, and so for March 1st, I'm going to have for any person that invites somebody to this group starting March 1st. Anybody who invites one, if you invite one person, you get one entry raffle. If you invite 12 people, you get 12 raffle entries. And I'm going to be giving away a whole bunch of stuff through the whole month, and then it's going to culminate at the end of the month near my birthday. We're going to have a whole big celebration giveaway. So stay tuned for that. And like I said, if you even invite one person, you're going to be enter the and you could win all five things or six things or whatever, however many we're giving away. But the more people you invite, the more chances you get. Because I really feel strongly that birthdays are meant to be celebrated and cherished, and so it should be amazing because that's the day your soul came onto the planet. That's the day your amazingness, your light lit up the planet, and the planet got just that much brighter because you're here. And so to that end, I'm going to go celebrate my favorite person on the planet and celebrate her birthday today. And if you see Patty Roberts, wish her the happiest of birthdays. Stay tuned. I love you. Have a wonderful day. Mwah.